Thanks for tuning in to the Soapbox, where it's our quest to help marketing suck less. With your hosts, Justin Stutz, a minivan driving father of four, who knows the lyrics of far too many 90s rap songs and has dedicated his life to finding Sasquatch. Along with Justin Tucker, a self-proclaimed contrarian and pizza enthusiast who fully consumes too much Red Bull and understands his puppy is by far his most redeeming quality. Here, they'll be breaking down real-life marketing and advertising examples with crazy awesome, impressive, and often opinionated guests. Diving into the head-scratching, the forehead-slapping, the belly-laughing, and the awe-inspiring of it all. Now, here's your hosts, Justin and Justin.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Soapbox, where we are on a constant pursuit to help marketing suck just a little bit less. It's our goal to really flex that muscle of our brain, where we're getting into the habit of looking at advertisements and commercials and print and looking at it with an eye for how does it make me feel? How could it be better? What do I like about it? And then how does that translate into our own marketing? So Justin, I don't know if you want to do, I'll give you the honor of introducing our guest today.
It is an honor. Yeah, man, I'm really excited. Today's guest spent a number of years running marketing teams for local TV stations. He's got a graduate degree from the University of Michigan, Go Blue, in both psychology and marketing. He's a TEDx speaker who, Justin, you and I have had the opportunity to be on stage with him numerous times. And I, for one, always have a speaker envy every time I see him. But he's the president or vice president of content for BombBomb. And through that, he's collected, analyzed, and told hundreds and hundreds of stories through video. And he's actually the co-author of a brand new book with Steve Passanelli called Rehumanize, which you can find online or in a bookstore near you. And it's really just about putting the personality or personal back into business communication. So Ethan Beute, welcome to the Soapbox, my friend.
Thank you so much. I love you guys. I love what you do. This is fun, and it's always an easy yes. I'll say yes to any invite you guys give me.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, we should have let you have an opportunity to explain your book and sell it, but apparently Justin's got that for you. He's already, right into pitch mode. Good work, Justin.
Good.
No, so today we thought it would be a perfect opportunity for us to assess an ad or a commercial done by Adobe that's got a little bit of humor in it, talks a little bit about maybe where things are going in a comical way of maybe losing that human touch. I'm gonna go ahead and play that ad for everyone, and then Ethan, I would love to get your thoughts on it. So let's go ahead and play that first.
Yo, man, I need some clicks.
Okay. I got some choice clicks right here, yo. Impressions, page views, followers.
Are they pure?
Man, I don't cut with bots.
How about likes? You got some likes?
Well, this is a high-class operation.
Come on. Everybody's doing it. I got my whole Q4 budget right here.
Whoa. Easy.
I just need enough to get me through this quarter.
Turn to the right.
Clicks. You are buying clicks. What will I tell the children?
That's the sound of the police. That's the sound of the beast. That's the sound of the police.
All right, so Ethan, thoughts on that ad?
I love that ad. I like almost everything about it. I thought it was well cast. The idea of setting this behavior of buying impressions and clicks and likes, we all know it's like weird and gross and wrong, but to set it up directly in a criminal situation and to play it all the way out and, just kind of the back and forth, like, are they pure, right? Like he's questioning the quality of these drugs. And the analogy actually plays really well, right? And the idea that he's, about to pull his Q4 budget out of his pocket and the guy's still like, hey, look, that's to be done around the corner kind of thing. Like this idea of going quarter to quarter and really being driven by these metrics and KPIs and goals that we all set for ourselves. we can fall into really, really bad habits. And I like that they took the bad habit and made it straight up criminal behavior and went all in on it. I thought it was awesome. From the opening shot, mind you, where we're seeing this guy, like he's clearly out of place and we're seeing him through like a slow drive-by car window. It's just well executed.
Yeah. I love when I dissect this ad. The first thing I love is that they use humor to convey a message, right? I mean, you kind of start laughing a little bit along with it. You get a little smirk on your face. And then they put something, especially for people in the marketing world, they put something out there that we all are guilty of but don't like to admit. And then they follow it up with curiosity, right? They show Adobe's new marketing platform. And, candidly, the first time I saw it, I went and took a look. I was like, well, what do you guys do? They don't even really get into what they do, but they just say, hey, we're Adobe. We can help you with this type of stuff. We're great at marketing. I love that it made me laugh and it made me curious.
Well, the best part for me was the music, and secondarily, I was that guy back in my advertising days where everything was driven by how many likes and click-throughs and all that stuff. So I could get into that role. I could have probably played the role on the commercial had they asked. So yeah, for me, it was a home run. The humor plays well. It gets me into a place where I absolutely get what they're trying to say, and for me, it's a home run.
Well, it's memorable. I mean, like I watched it once and I feel like I could, start bobbing along with the music again and relating to the message again. It's memorable. I didn't need to see it 100 times to draw a connection to it. I did the first time I watched it.
Yeah, 100%. So guys, so the message behind it, right, it is so key. And it kind of goes into, Ethan, what you've been preaching for a long time, but kind of break that down. Like, what is it that we're supposed to be focusing on if it's not all these like false KPIs that everybody holds up?
Right. I do think they are good indicators of, if you're doing something, if you're regularly publishing videos to Facebook or you're regularly publishing to a blog or, if you're doing these activities, these likes and impressions things, they help like this one was better than this other one. Like you need it, but it's an indicator. It's not an outcome. It's not a goal. You don't go to the store and buy them and then hold them up in a meeting and say, look, I got these things, right? What we need to be doing is making things that people want to watch and writing things that people want to read, like solving problems or entertaining or getting them from point A to point B. Like we need to, like as we're optimizing for machines and bots and reports and these KPIs, what we're losing sight of often is the person on the other end that actually is the real outcome. Have we connected with this person? Have we equipped this person? Have we entertained or been of value to this person? Do they like us better as a consequence? Do they do what you did, JT, and take the next step and go look at the company or whatever? It's like, it reminded, this whole thing, as I was thinking about this, it reminded me of a classic advertising quote. It's credited to Howard Gossage, like a classic Mad Men era ad guy. And he says, no one reads advertising. People read what interests them, and sometimes that's an ad. Mm-hmm. And that's like that quote has got to be 50, 60, 70 years old now, and it's just as true today. It's just in a different channel than probably print and newspapers and probably even TV at the time. But and it just goes back to this. Instead of buying these things, just do things that people will respond to and connect with that will be of value to them in one way or another, and it all kind of works out from there.
Yeah, it makes me it reminds me of that statement, like there is no neutral anymore in marketing. Like, the Super Bowl has taught us that as soon as we see an ad, that's what we're doing on this show. You're going to go like it or don't like it, and here's why. And if you do the right thing and you said entertaining and all these other things for folks, then you will get likes, shares, engagements, clicks. But if you're just solely focused on that, and remember all those sites where you can go, and still today, like to Fiverr and buy 10,000 Facebook followers, but none of them care about your brand or what you're offering. It just makes you look like you have a bunch of people that are following your page, and there's no value in that anymore to me. I'd rather have a few deep connections that provide something of value back to me, and I can provide value back to them, than 10,000 people who could care less about what I'm talking about.
Well, and it's pretend. It's like we're putting on these airs and acting as if, like, there's a video connection here that I don't know that we have time for, but we feel like we need to look a certain way, or we need to meet or exceed some standard, or we need to like puff up our chests and like, act bigger than we really are, or better than we are, or richer than we are. It's all like, it's so exhausting and wasteful in general. And this affects the way that we run our businesses, not just our business outcomes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that though, Ethan, like BombBomb is one of the companies that I obviously follow. I read and watch all the stuff that you put out. So how do you guys figure out that sweet spot? Because for me, I absolutely love the stuff that you do, but what does that look like when you guys are storyboarding the videos for the week or the content? Like, how do you guys decide what's valuable and what is going to hit home with your audience?
Yeah, I'll do this as quickly as I can. We talk a lot as a marketing team. We talk a lot to our customer success team, which is kind of support and engagement and success, like successful outcomes for customers, not just how does my webcam work. So we talk a lot to our customer success people. We talk a lot to our sales people. What do people who are thinking about using the tool, where do they get hung up? What do they wonder about? These kinds of things. And so and then, of course, we have great relationships with our customers. We send all of our emails, like newsletters and things, from real people here. It's not just some, distribution list and the replies disappear into the ether. So we use our customers and what excites them, what concerns them, what holds them up, what makes them double down, like, good and bad. What do they wonder about? What are they curious about? So we base most of our stuff in some real need or want or benefit or solution that we know is out there, right? And so even if you're not operating at the scale we have about 45,000 customers right now. And so we get a lot of that feedback because we have a good sized teams and a lot of engagement. These people are on the phone and on Zoom calls all day long. So we have a lot of that. Even if you're doing it at a lower level, you don't want to overblow one overly positive or overly negative piece of feedback. But just listen and document. When you hear a theme, write it down. This is great source for content in general because people who are already interested and have raised their hand, for us, it's they started a trial or they bought an account or they subscribed to a newsletter or joined us on a webinar. These are people who are definitely interested at some level or, whether it's shallow or deep. They've already raised their hand and they're engaged with us. And so what do they really need? And are we equipped to provide it? And are we equipped to teach to it? And then secondarily, we use things like, we only got 4 shares on this video where we averaged 7 or 12 or whatever. I wonder why. And then we can kind of get into the nuance there. But in general, I think if you're basing your stuff in real needs and wants and real solutions for people, you're going to be in the zone somewhere. And then from there, you put your own spin on it. So for us, the stuff that we put out reflects who we are as people and our personalities and our approaches and things.
Yeah. So that's smart. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Tuck.
Oh no, let's kind of like bring this back. So I mean, we're obviously looking at advertisement, but advertisements from all over the world. But we want to break this back down to what it means specifically to the real estate market. So what do you guys take away from what we can learn as we're marketing in the real estate sector? From that ad and kind of how it would translate into our world.
Yeah, I'll start with that, Ethan. I think for me, the big takeaway is stop focusing on the wrong metrics, right? Likes and all that stuff aren't true indicators of success. And really, for me, it's about the engagement. How many people are talking about it? How many people are sharing the content? Those are the things that actually matter to the success or the failure of any particular campaign that you're running.
I agree completely. I think focusing on the right outcomes and putting your priorities in the right places. And also, again, I just want to double down on this. Stop trying to put on, the only reason you buy that stuff is to look as if and to feel yourself as if. It's like, be proud of who you are. If you're watching a show like this, you're interested in learning and growing. And so you have some level of success. Own your success and just continue to go into those things and listen to people and find out what you're doing well and play to those strengths and keep going. All this other stuff is it is criminal behavior because you're acting against yourself. You're not being yourself. You're not serving yourself. You're trying to please some imaginary other person where, gosh, if I had twice as many followers, I would be better.
Well, you know what I get out of that too, that just really speaks to me is tell stories, right? We're so fixated on information in the real estate space it's bedrooms and bathrooms and all of that, that we forget to tell stories. Adobe could have very easily said, hey, we have this product, here are the 6 features, here are the benefits of those features, and it wouldn't have connected to me nearly the way that it did. They told a story that made me kind of smile and nod my head and go, totally guilty, okay, let's see what you guys actually do. We need to tell way more stories in our space. And the other major takeaway for me, as we kind of wrap this up collectively, is the language that we choose to use. And we do it so often in this industry where we talk about transactions and files and listings, and we forget that it's people and family and homes. And that to me, even just changing our language will change the direction of our actions and how we communicate with people. So any final thoughts from you guys as we wrap this up? Ethan, we're so thankful that you joined us for our inaugural Soapbox.
Yeah, happy to be here. Love what you guys are doing. I think it's a fun topic, and I like tying it back around all the way. And I look forward to seeing some comments as this goes out. What other people kind of responded to in the ad and that kind of thing. Language super matters. There are reasons that we use things like calling people leads. Like there is some function there. Like we need to follow people through stages, but staying sensitive to the fact that there are real people in all of these, and you have real opportunities to change real lives. I think, sometimes situations bring that out of us, and it reminds us and excites us again about our work. And other times we get into this transaction mindset and lose sight of it. So the more we can stay person-oriented in our content creation and in the way that we run our businesses, the better off we're going to be.
Well, Ethan, thank you for joining us. Stutz, thank you as always for your perspective here, guys. And that's the goal. Like as we dissect these ads, we want your take too. Everyone has an opinion. We want yours. Don't be afraid to get on your soapbox, share your thoughts, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. So thanks, everyone. Have a good one.
All right.
Thanks for joining the Soapbox, where 2 guys named Justin help marketing suck less. Join us next time for another episode of thought-provoking discussion, marketing dissection, and more uncontained rants on the marketing that real companies are spending real money on. Always remember, why do we market to people in ways that we don't like to be marketed to?